eThekwini municipality says work is being done to attend to water and sanitation challenges in the city. The mayor was addressing the media at a briefing in Shongweni today, where he also announced details about an upgrade and renovations to the Durban beachfront. Newzroom Africa's Karinda Jagmohan is standing by to detail what those plans entail. Karinda, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Due to quite a lengthy briefing answering many questions about the city's development and progress, especially following last year's floods, the city spokesperson emphasizing that the flood we saw in April last year was a 1-in-100-year flood, and thus there can be no expectation to rebuild infrastructure that was damaged within just a space of a year. So they did update the media on the various projects that are underway. Just as I read from my notes, they say that there has been flood relief funding of just over 200 million rand, parts of which that has been set aside to repair especially water and sanitation infrastructure, looking at some of the broken wastewater treatment plants in Umhlanga, in the Phoenix area, as well as at the megacity mall in Umlazi, where sewage has been overflowing just near that mall into quite a public space. So they say that money has been allocated there, so construction is starting in those areas. We did actually surface issues of ongoing sewage spills, especially in areas south of Durban where we were yesterday. And they did apologize to residents about those matters and say they will clean up the area, but the mayor also looking at residents' apparent misuse of the system and just complaining or cautioning against misusing the public sewer network. With regards to the Durban beachfront, they have announced various upgrades, but I'm going to just try and rope in the city manager who's just joined us now to speak about this. Sir, thank you so much for coming for this interview. I've just been updating our viewers on the various flood updates. Sir, can you just tell us about the money that has been allocated and just the budget in terms of looking at water infrastructure, bridges and roads? When can we see a total overhaul of the city following what was destroyed?
Good day to you and good day to your viewers. We have been allocated 1.5 billion. 1.2 billion rands from that 1.5 is going to be used to fix the road infrastructure. Then the remainder will go to water and sanitation infrastructure. We received the money in March. We concluded the supply chain management processes. Implementation has already started. We have spent just over 20% of that particular budget, and we are continuing to spend on an enhanced basis. So we are likely to see the change. I'm not going to say overhaul, because that budget is not enough to be able to deal with the total damage, but it will go a long way in terms of ensuring that our infrastructure is redeemed to a better standing.
Just looking forward now, over the next 6 weeks, you're going to revamp the Durban Promenade. There was a lot of concern about how this is going to be done. Tell us about the money set aside and the timeline, because there are 3 months left till the festive season, our economic chance for recovering in the city.
Yeah. A lot of what is going to be taking place in the promenade is going to be done by those people who will have been awarded opportunities to be able to build those restaurants, to be able to build those hotels and so on. On our side, we've spent just over 70 million rands or so between the swimming pools that are across the beachfront. Anything else is really going to be what the investors are bringing on board to ensure that there is a beachfront facelift. So we have reported here that the CAC pool, which we have covered before, is going to be ready come the 7th of December 2022, just at the start of the festive season, because the contractors will be on site soon. So other small things, such as ensuring that we manage the sand encroaching on the promenade, are normal run-of-the-mill operational things. It's not featuring under upgrades. So there will be some improvement this coming festive season, but it will not be in its entirety, because this work will take between 36 months and anything above that.
Finally, so I can't let you go without asking you about the controversial issue regarding your own remuneration that has been written about in the media, saying that a budget has been approved to pay you a salary almost close to what the president is actually earning in terms of millions of rands. Do you think that this is fair, just looking at the financial crisis many South Africans find themselves in?
It is not fair. It can't be fair. Firstly, that I'm the one who's talking about my salary when it's the council that has given it to me. Now that you have asked, let me explain it. The salary regime in local government, particularly at the metros, is controlled by National Department of COGTA through a system called upper limits. So there are those upper limits that have been approved. For metros in this financial year, they go up to 4.1 million rands annual package, total cost to company. So what our municipality has approved for me, taking into account the challenges, the challenging nature of the job that I'm dealing with, they've approved 3.9 million rands, which means that it's under by about 200,000 from what the upper limit, the maximum of the upper limit provides for. But that is nothing out of the ordinary. There are certain city managers that have exhausted the full upper limit up to 4.1. So that is something that is not extraordinary. We are basically applying to the National Minister of COGTA. Council only approve to recommend. So we are still going to take this thing to the MEC for COGTA in the province and then to the National Minister. It is a fair and competitive package. I'm sure you agree with me.
Mr. City Manager, thank you so much for your time and for answering on those questions, as controversial as it may be with regards to the remuneration. There you go, just a wrap-up of the various matters unfolding in eThekwini, especially with regards to how finances are being used in the city that has gone through quite a lot of turmoil over the past 3 years.